So I'm Dr. Lauren MacDonald. Everybody just calls me Mac. I'm the owner and founder of Colorado Institute of Sports Medicine. We do physical therapy. We work some of the top athletes in the country, if not in the world. But we also do total knees, total hips, people with rotator cuff repairs, ACL reconstruction, ankles, whatever, pain, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain. Why not? I mean, honestly, I think one of the biggest things is getting kids out and getting them active again. I mean, it's physical therapy. Okay? So we're very physical around here. Kids need to move. Okay? I'm just a firm believer in taking care of kids. Didn't come from a lot of money or anything, so camps like this weren't available back when I was a kid. Secondly, if they were available, my family couldn't afford it. So it's kind of like one of those things where you get back to the community. I think that's a big, big thing. And too many people have lost that sense of community. So we've always done it. It was our 15th year of being a title sponsor and 16 years total. We used to have the golf tournament and all that. That was always a lot of fun too. So I think just taking care of your community is more than anything else and helping kids. I think it's huge because I think it's neat that the kids have to write a little, letter on why they belong and want to come to the camp. And the other thing is they get to get around some of the pros and understand, everybody has dreams. Kids have dreams, and just like they hear some of the stories, and a lot of the pros come from the same background they do. So they get to hear that there is a chance. But then those pros turn around and tell them how important, like the education is, how important respect is, things like that. And I think that's the exposure that they need to get. And if you don't have a scholarship for them, how are they going to get there? So. Well, for me, sports in general needs to happen all the time. So football, starting at this level, gets them fired up. They watch it on TV, right? As far as I'm concerned, kids should only watch sports on TV. Everything else should be just turned off. They don't need to watch anything else, okay? And that should be limited. They need to be out playing in the yard, okay? So from there, they become better athletes and they become better citizens. They're healthier, okay? When you take a kid at a pro football game that's 7 or 8 years old, and the next thing you know, he's in Pop Warner or he's in, the local football program in the city. And then from there, he's now in junior high school. Then from there, he's now in high school. And who knows? A little bit of break here and there. The ball bounces a couple of times your way. You're in college. And then it gets really narrowed down after that because there's hundreds of schools out there that are going to feed 32 NFL teams. So you better be the best of the best. Somebody's got to do it. It's more volunteer time. Again, that's the community involvement thing. We've always done it. I don't know how not to do things like that. We cover sporting events right now. We're doing the Broadmoor Open Figure Skating Championships, and that's all volunteer. And if you're going to call yourself a sports medicine clinic, you better be covering sports. And, these are kids, and you've got to keep the cost down somehow. It's like nobody's getting rich off this camp, by no means. Okay? This is a nonprofit, charitable organization, and it truly is. It's not like everybody's sticking a bunch of money in their pocket. Okay? It's all about the kids, and people don't get that. It's just not what it used to be, and I think we need to bring that back in this country. first of all, they get to know their guys, you know. So the guys that, that Greg signs and so on, they know the right fit, and they're very particular on who they sign. It's a little bit different than some of the guys that are in the big organizations trying to make the big bang, keep their name out there, the whole 9 yards. This is very, very community oriented. Okay, this is not about Tyreek Hill. This is not about Tom Brady. This is not about fill in the blank. Okay, this is about bringing some really good guys in to work with kids and guys that want to do it. Where there's guys that are coming every year that have been retired and everything else, that come in and year out. And you know what they get? They get a plane ticket. And the rest of the time, and maybe a free hamburger up at one of the restaurants that support it. That's about it. They give up their time because that's what it is. I mean, these other camps, I don't know, they have staffs and people are getting paid and everything else. I don't know. I just know that this is truly about the kids. And the people they bring in know it's about the kids. And it always has been. Always has been. I think they all do a great job, but there's always two guys that stick out in my head. And that's Rich Griffith was kind of the MC, if you will, when we first started. Highly motivated guy, always on. Always. The switch never turned off with him. And Greg Scruggs. And the same thing. Those guys just bring a lot to the camp. And those are the memories that are out there for me. And just some of the laughs we have with the guys during the camp, after the camp. Just funny things is, I'll tell you a quick story. I had Eric Guychuk, and he played for the Bengals in my front seat, and I had Brandon Jones in the back, and he played for Tennessee, and my wife was in the back seat sitting there, and Guychuk turns on and he looks at Brandon, he goes, "Just how fast are you?" He goes, 4.37 with pads on. And Guychuk just shook his head. So I thought that was pretty funny. I mean, that was quite a memory. The guys are that fast with pads on. There was a pause. It was really cool how he did it. So I thought that was a pretty neat story.
Sorry, I'm trying not to laugh so I don't. What do you walk away with?
The warm fuzzy. Just knowing you did something right. What else do you need? We don't run around throwing it all over Facebook and Instagram and everything other than to promote the camp itself. It's not look at me. I mean, you can click on our website and click on Pro Football Camp, but you won't see a lot of it on our website because they have their website. So why do I need to do it? There's a lot of organizations on our website. This happens to be one of them we've been around forever with. I think teamwork. I think they try and at least instill some respect. Respect your parents, respect your teachers, respect your elders. I think that's a big thing. The guys keep pushing all the time. That life is more than football and sports, but you can get a lot out of sports. So they don't just go out there and teach them how to play football. There's a lot more to it than that. And I think more than anything else, you see a lot of smiling faces, kids having fun. So that's what they kind of leave with is, God, I had fun. And that was really cool.
Coach.
Well, I think I answered part of this earlier when I said a lot of these NFL guys came from the same type of background as some of these kids. I used Mike Lehan and his story, and people can look up his background and so on, and he can relate, and the kids can relate. And then just the fact that kids have dreams, and now they're looking at the dream. So they're going to listen. They're going to listen. They're going to open their ears just a little bit more. it's no different than, I honest to God, I get a lot of parents that'll say, can you talk to my son? Can you talk to my daughter? Because they don't listen to me. Well, it's the same thing. I had 2 kids, that we helped raise. And I have to get other people to talk to them because sometimes it's just a different voice that they need to hear. And hear it differently, but the same message. Okay? Be a good citizen. Well, isn't that what everybody wants for their kids? Right? Be respectful. I don't know what else to tell you. Those guys get their point across, and it makes an impact. And then if, a lot of these kids come when they're 7, 8 years old. They're done when they're 14. So they hear it from the same guys every year. That's a good message. And what's wrong with redundancy? Hearing it over and over and over again, there's got to be some truth to it, right?
Why you should sign your kid up.
There's so many good parts to it. Like we were just talking about. You hear from the guys that have been there, done that. You hear from people that care. It's well organized. The kids are taken care of. There's always somebody looking after them and trying to teach them, just not the pros. We have a ton of volunteers out there. High school coaches and little league coaches and middle school coaches that are out there busting their hump. And they do it year in and year out. Same thing, not a dime. Some of them it cost them money. I'm out there, I put my time in and it costs me money. I don't care. Okay, we got to do something. You've got to pick your battles. That's the biggest thing in life. And too many times, I think, it's like big charity balls. People got to get dressed up to give money. It's ridiculous. They got to give, to give their time. You do one day a year at the soup kitchen. It's something. It's not to downplay that. But we can do a lot more, right? We can. As a society, we need to get back to that. Get rid of the me and get back to the we. This country was built on that. So why can't we take care of our piece of the pie? We get 300 kids out there every year. Would we like to do more? Hell yeah. And we do more. My wife and I are involved in the Police Athletic League. We're on the board for that. We do all kinds of stuff with the high schools. Why aren't other people doing that? It's just time. Make your work your fun your work. Pretty simple. Craig and Teddy do a good job of that. They really do. They have a lot of fun in their lives. And it's work.
They do a lot of work.
They're just long hours. But they'll tell you they're not working. They're just doing. They're creating. I get tired from doing that, not from working. I don't get tired from working. I get tired from long hours. That's it. So what? I chose to do this.